Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. How is everyone this morning? I just got back from the orthopedic doctor where I took my fall. They wanted to make sure nothing was broken. Everything looks good. So that's good. I'm gonna be a little sore. I got some pulled muscles. They're gonna maybe send me to someone to make sure that I don't need any more therapy or anything on my foot from my previous injury. But other than that, everything looks good. I am so glad. No hairline fractures, no blood clots, just a lot of pulled muscles and as we get older, it takes us a little longer to heal. My puppy is a little anxious this morning. He went with us. My wonderful husband drove me. I'm having a cigarette and my coffee because we know this is not made for children. Today I thought I would go over a video or two that I made and whenever I was using my ghost hunting equipment and some of the equipment that I like, explain how it works. So I'm going to go get a piece of equipment. This will be the equipment that we're going to be watching the video on. It's one of the first videos I made with this equipment. I think it was the first one. I think I just got the equipment and I'm going to get my little one a treat. I'll be right back. Do you want a treat? Do you want a treat? Oh my goodness. Sit, sit. Good boy. Okay. The first piece of equipment that I'm going to use, I really wasn't sure what I would think of this equipment when I purchased it. And then the more I used it, tried it out, and explored with it, I really like it. And I'll be right back. Okay, so the more I used this one, the more I liked it. I found out it is very reliable. It works similar to the K2 meter, if you're familiar with the K2 meter. And this one is called the Ghost Hunting Trigger Object Boo Buddy Jr. And oops, looks like I got a little something there on his foot. He'll be okay. But this is little Boo Buddy Jr. And he lights up just like a K2 meter would. So this is the one that we're going to be watching the video on. He just has a little battery pack in the back, like a little backpack. Has a little 9-volt battery. Just unzip it. Turn him on. And you're going to see, oops, everything is so backwards here. You're going to see the nice little green light here on his tummy. Now, if something comes around that's putting off any type of EMF energy, he has a little red spot. I think it's about right here in his chest that will light up, and his 2 upper paws will light up. Now, this one does not have any sound. I didn't want one that had the sound, that does the talking and all of that. I just wanted something that was very nice. And unfortunately, I have to leave my phone on in case my neighbor needs me to call. So if you hear beeps, I'm sorry. If you have earplugs in, you may want to remove them. And also, the video that I'm going to be sharing has some music I added to it at the beginning. So this was my very first experiment that I did. I'm pretty sure it was my first one with this new Boo Buddy Jr. So I'm going to share it, and I'm going to explain how it works. What did I think of it? Do I consider this to be reliable? And would I recommend this particular one? So this is kind of like a review and my actual video of me trying out this piece of equipment. So I hope you're going to enjoy this. It's about a approximately 30-minute video. And we'll go ahead and share that. I'll take you through the video. We'll stop if you have any questions. I'll try and answer your questions. And I'm going to go ahead and put my link up if anyone would like to join me. Just click on the link. And I ask that you please be respectful. And remember, this is a paranormal channel, not a political channel. And we do not allow any hate on this channel. That's not what I'm about. I'm about learning, teaching, and educating. And that's what I'm here for. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share a video. Thought I already had it pulled up. Okay, so we will go in. Whoops. Okay. Now, this is the video that I created. And again, that was right after I purchased this little bear, this little ghost hunting equipment. And this again is the Boo Buddy Jr. So we'll go ahead and share this video. trying to get everything together. Down, try. Okay, I don't know what it's doing here. Do you like that, babe? Okay, let's try this again. Hopefully I've got it this time. I'm sorry, I'm just learning how to do all this, so please be patient. And here we go. We're going to give this a try. And this is I titled this Ghost Child Lights Up New Boo Buddy Jr. EMF Bear in my home this morning. Now, this was right after I purchased this piece of equipment, and I wanted to try it out. And I'm using my night vision camera on this one. So we'll go ahead and try this again. Hopefully I've got it right this time. And I did put my link in. If you want to come up and join me, you can just click on the link and come up and join the panel with me. Again, we're not political. We do not allow any hate. This is a learning, education, paranormal channel. So here we go. Let's try it again. Now, if you watch right about here, you're going to see a light. Of course, this is night vision. This would be the green light that you're seeing on my little bear. Oops, puppy needs some attention. And he probably thinks this is a toy for him. So let me find him something here. Hold on just 1 minute. We're just real life here. We're just learning. We have a new puppy. And of course, he's seeing this little toy, so he don't understand why mommy's not letting him have the toy. So what you're seeing here on this little green light, or little light right here, would be my green light on this equipment. Now, because this is here right now, night vision, you're going to see something light up here and possibly flicker here or here. And that would be a red light without the night vision, here or in each paw. So I'm going to leave. It starts out on night vision with a little bit of music. So if you have earbuds in or headphones, you might want to remove them. And we'll go ahead and start this. And I'll show you how this piece of equipment works. And this was actually, I did this test in my home because I did have paranormal activity in my home. And this is a piece of equipment that I purchased because all indications were pointing to this was a child spirit. Oops, puppy has a bottle, so you might hear some noise. Let me see if I can't get him something else. Give me just 1 minute. Let's do more. See. Let's get something else. Here, let's get something else. Let's get something else. Yeah. Okay, we'll try that. Again, like I said, this is real life. We just go with the flow, and we have a new puppy, so we're doing okay. We're just getting through all of the training and learning. So, as I was stating, because this is night vision, you're going to see it light up here, and possibly right here in the chest area. And then I only have it on night vision with a little bit of music going at first. And then I turn it onto a regular, turn the night vision off so that you can actually see the red light. Now, the only way that this is going to activate is if something with energy, just like your K2 meter. So basically, here's your K2 meter. And this is an EMF reader. This little Boo Buddy Jr. is also an EMF reader. So it has the same basics as your standard K2 EMF reader. So you'll understand exactly what my video is showing here. Something that has EMF would have to come close to this bear in order for the light to activate in the chest or either one of these paws. Now, my bottom paws on this one does not light up. And I'll go ahead and turn this music on and let you watch this a little bit, and you'll see, watch for a light here and flicker here. It's a little hard to see on the night vision, but whenever I take it to the regular camera, you can see the red. I'm going to stop it here. I'm trying to get a little closer on my night vision because you can barely see it beginning to flicker here. So that means something is causing this to activate. Now I wanted to turn off my night vision so I could actually show how this is lighting up, similar to what my K2 meter would do. So something has came close enough to this that it did actually activate this K2 meter in the little Boo Buddy Jr. EMF bear. Now, the brighter that you're seeing that red light, that's the higher the EMF reading. Now, if it gets strong enough, this paw and this paw, the two upper paws, everything's backwards here. These two will light up as well. Now, my bottom paws do not light up on this one, and this bear does not speak. So right now, I just have the activity here, so that's showing there's something is interested in this new bear, and it's coming close enough that it's activating my EMF. Now, before it started activating, there was nothing there to interfere with it. And now, as you can see, which you may see, I'm starting to get some EMF activity right now. Now, I do have a phone next to me that can be causing my K2 meter to be activating, because your phone will set it off. So you need to be careful not to cross-contaminate your evidence. But you're seeing how this is reacting right now. That is basically what this bear was doing in my video. And I did not have a phone or anything close to it. And when it was first setting there, there was absolutely no activity at all. Now, you'll start to notice that these two paws are going to begin to light up as well. Now there, this paw, did you see how bright that got? So whatever came into that EMF field has now got strong enough that it lit the paw as well. We'll do a replay on that. Right here. Now, the reason I went with this little bear was because the home that I purchased, shortly after we purchased it, we started noticing little things that were happening. Mostly things, if it had anything to do with a toy, which I had some stuffed animals. My husband always gets me the large teddy bears that has the date on the paw for Christmas. He's done that ever since we've been together. And I started noticing that they would be tilted or moved or just little things. And then as time went on, I noticed more and more things. And if you're in the paranormal and you know anything about the paranormal, the first thing you want to do is you want to completely rule it out, that this is not paranormal. So that's what I was trying to do. I wanted to completely rule it out. This is not paranormal in my home. I know what paranormal is. I've been experiencing the paranormal for 42 years now. And so when I started noticing these small things, I really never said anything to my husband. I thought, it's a new home that we moved into. We were working a lot. We were working long hours. We were doing construction, building homes. And we were getting, used to our home we moved into. So I thought, I'm tired. I've just not noticed that, maybe I set that and it was a little crooked or little things like that. And then as time went on, I started to notice more and more little tiny subtle things. So with that, I thought, well, I'm going to go ahead and set up a few things, and I'm going to do an investigation in my home. And I'm going to see, what can I capture, because I want to prove it's not haunted. I'm not here to prove that it is haunted. And this morning, my little one, my new puppy's a little restless, so you're going to hear him going from room to room. And we just got back in from going to a doctor's visits. So I'm having my coffee, so join me for coffee. A warm drink on a snowy morning. And this is an adult channel, so I am smoking a cigarette. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this back on. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it back to the beginning. because I want you to see this under night vision. And then I want you to see it when it moves into, when I take it off of the night vision, and you can actually see the activity. This little Boo Buddy Jr. EMF bear is lighting up like a regular K2 meter would, an EMF meter would. So this was my first time trying out this new piece of equipment. So I'm going to take us back to the beginning. And if you've got earbuds in, you might want to remove them. I have music. And again, I started off with night vision, so you can see the green power indicator, like right here. That's what you're seeing here. So on night vision, I'm watching because the chest will light up red and these two paws, depending on how much interference is coming into the area of my EMF bear, which again works like your standard EMF K2 meter. It's basically the same purpose, and this one does not speak, talk, or anything. So I first started it off in night vision. So you might see some flickering here, and then in these two paws will light up. These lower paws do not light up on this particular bear. And I purchased, like I said, this bear to help me with my ghost hunting investigations, my paranormal investigations. And I am using this for the first time in my home to see whether or not that I am actually picking up any paranormal activity in the home, because we had just purchased, it's a used mobile home. And I just wanted to find out, is it something that is actually paranormal, or, what is going on? Am I just tired? Am I, we're working hard. We're working a lot of hours, plus getting settled into the home we purchased. So I'm going to go ahead and start this at the beginning, and you're going to see it in night vision, and then I go to my regular camera. If you've got earbuds in or headphones, you might want to take them out because I added music. Now it looks like my camera is close enough to this bear to be turning this bear off. However, it's not. I'm zoomed in on my camera. And when I had it on the night vision, I could see it beginning to flicker. And so I turned it off of night vision so I could actually capture. And you could see how it turned red here in the chest area. And the stronger that this gets, the EMF reading, these two paws will begin to flicker as well. Now, I added that music, and I thought it was just very sweet music to add to the video. But there was no music or no sounds or vibrations or anything like that. It should have been setting this bear off. There was no equipment near this bear, nothing, no phones, no computers. And even though it does look like I'm close to this piece of equipment, I'm not. I'm zoomed in, and you can see I'm kind of shaking because I'm using my camera, my night vision camera, and I'm setting far enough distance away, but I'm trying to capture what I'm seeing. So I wanted to start it off in night vision because this was nighttime. And then I went from nighttime to taking it to a regular camera. And the reason I'm using this particular bear and what attracted me to this bear is because when I was doing other experiments in my home, I was using a digital voice recorder, a micro cassette recorder, and my camcorder. And on all three of them, I would catch small children's voices. They were not real loud. So what I did after that was I put the same pieces of equipment out, and then I put a trail cam outside of my home on each side of my mobile home to make sure that there wasn't some noise outside that could be feeding in to my home. And is that where I'm getting these children's voices or giggles? So everything was indicating that this could possibly be a child's spirit. And I want to go through and debunk it. So not only did I have my cameras in the house running, my digital cassette, my micro cassette, and the audio on my night vision camera and video. I had the two outside cameras going as well, and they pick up movement and sound and everything on the trail cams for outside. So that way I had both sides of the outside of my home covered. So if there was something outside, either one of those cameras would have picked it up, as well as the cameras and equipment running inside. Because I want to do the best investigation I can and get the best evidence that I can. So everything that I had picked up going up to the point of purchasing this piece of equipment, all of that was indicating that it could possibly be a child spirit, because I could not rule out why am I hearing. And it seemed like more than one child, possibly two very small children, giggling and small whispers. So that's why I went with this piece of equipment. I thought if there is, maybe it would be attracted to this piece of equipment, because I noticed that, like I said, my little stuffed animals would get moved, and not a lot, but maybe tilted or something. Anything that had to do with toys or something that resembled a toy. So that's one reason I purchased this piece of equipment. And then you're going to hear the names that I picked up over and over on my pieces of equipment was Tommy and Lily. You could hear one say Tommy and the other one say Lily. And it was almost like little conversations that these two children were having. So you will hear, as I go on into this video, I reach out to see if there is a child spirit in this home, and if this child spirit's name is Tommy or Lily. Good job, Tommy. That was amazing. Thank you. I apologize. I have to keep my phone on because I have a little lady next door, my neighbor lady. And if she needs me, she calls. She's not able to get up and take care of herself. So I apologize if my phone rings or bleeps. I can't turn off I cannot turn on do not disturb. Do you like that bear? Wow, you like the bear. Good. Now, if you notice during this video, I'm reaching out and I'm asking, is this Tommy? And then I'm asking, do you like this bear? So I'm trying to find out if there is a child spirit in my home. Is it reacting to this bear? Is this Tommy? If it's Tommy, light him up. As you see, I'm calling out and asking, is this Tommy? Because all of my evidence up to this point was indicating a child's spirit named Tommy. So if I want to find out if all of my information is correct, and if there is a spirit of a child, and the spirit is Tommy or Lily, I want to find out if this spirit can come up and touch this piece of equipment and cause it to react. And that is a confirmation. Now, I made sure that there's nothing that can interfere with this piece of equipment because it does work just like the EMF K2 meter. So I did not want anything close to it that could interact with it, that could cause it to give me a false reading. And whenever you're doing an investigation, just because you ask a spirit to do something, that doesn't mean that on command they are going to react to it and that they're going to actually immediately do it. So what you look for is you will ask politely and you will ask with respect, if you are here, can you please touch this bear? Now that spirit may or may not touch the bear. So let's see what happened. Tommy, if that's you, can you light him up again? You did a really good job. Thank you. That was amazing. Now, if you notice when I'm talking to any spirit, whether it would be a child spirit, or if it would possibly be an adult spirit. I always go in with respect. I don't want to go in and make them feel like they have to perform for me. I do not want to ever challenge any spirit that may be in a home. So I always try to go in with the mindset that if this is a spirit of a person or a child that has passed on, I want to talk to them like I would talk to a person or a child. And I want to be kind and I want to be respectful. And one of the biggest things that you have to remember when you're doing an investigation is you have to be patient. And you may go to some place 4 times and have absolutely no activity whatsoever. And then go the 5th time and you may get activity. So just because you're going in to do an investigation doesn't mean that just because you're there to do an investigation that there's going to be activity. So that's why I like to do multiple investigations and multiple tests using multiple pieces of equipment. Because with me doing it in that manner, then I can compile all of my evidence from each investigation, from each different piece of equipment that I've tested, and compile all of that and then put that together as this is what I found during my investigation. Again, this is an adult channel, so I am having my coffee this morning. If you're just coming in, it's cold here. I'm having a warm coffee. Get you a warm drink or a cold drink and join me. Again, I'm just learning how to do the StreamYard and the sharing. So this is a learning channel, a teaching channel, a paranormal channel, and sometimes a baking and cooking channel. So I'm learning every day. Can you light the ball beside the bear? Now here you're going to see right about here, I set a cat ball. Just your normal standard cat ball. And these are supposed to be motion activated. However, if you have a lot of vibration, like here, I live close to a train track. Even though it's a little distance away, is it possible the vibration from that train could be setting off this little ball? Or is there a noise that would be loud enough to also activate this? Because noise will activate these as well. So not only am I using the Boo Buddy Jr. EMF bear, but I also thought, well, I'm going to go ahead and try one of these cat balls as well. Because if this is a child spirit, it may be attracted to these as toys and toys that actually will light up. And this would be Welcome to Ghost Hunting 101. So right now you would be sitting here with me going through a paranormal investigation with me. And we might be using this half an hour to go into one area that we have set up. And we'll be trying to get evidence to see if there's any paranormal activity. So this would be me sitting in a room, or you if you're investigating. So together we're going to be sharing this, me and you, as you're watching, and we're investigating. So this was my first investigation in my home using the new Boo Buddy Jr. EMF bear to see if possibly there was a child spirit paranormal activity that was going on in my home. I needed to do tests. I needed to investigate it. I did this during the day. I did this at night. And this is my first test at night. The ball's turned on. Let me make sure. Yeah, it's on. Now there, all I'm doing is touching the little ball just to make sure it is on, so that they can see that if they come up and touch it, it will light up. You like to fall beside of the bear. And again, if you're just coming in, it may look like my camera and my equipment is very close to the bear, and that could be causing the EMF to be going off on this particular piece of equipment. I am set back, but I'm zoomed in. You can watch me zooming in and out, but I'm set way back to make sure that my equipment is not causing this EMF bear to activate. Can you light the bear again? Make him turn red again. Wow, thank you. Good job. Now, if you were out investigating and you were asking if there was a spirit here, can you touch the bear? And automatically you see that here on this response, the bear did react. Now, prior, when I asked a couple times, there was no reaction. So this is very important. You know, if you are investigating, just because you ask something to happen doesn't mean it's going to be something that is instant, something that's going to happen immediately. So be patient and be respectful whenever you are investigating. And again, you're in the dark and you want to make sure that if you are alone, that you're far enough away from whatever equipment you have that your camera or whatever you're using, uh, your lights, anything that would put off EMF is not close enough to give you a false positive reading. So I did all of this checking my distance. I could move closer. And as I move closer, just like I explained with this EMF reader, the closer that I get to power source, you're going to see this EMF K2 meter react. That bear has the same features. So when I would get far enough back, which now I'm not going to be able to because I'm probably over a phone or some power source. So if I was close enough, this bear would be constantly doing exactly what this basic K2 EMF reader is doing. You would see this reaction. Now, when I'm turning it away, automatically it's turning off. When I'm turning it back, but the farther back that I get, of course, this is going to quit reacting. Now, if I would have been close enough, this bear would have had a small, maybe flickering of light, something to show, just like that K2 meter, that there was equipment that was close enough that it was causing this EMF bear to react. So I know for a fact that all of my equipment is back. Nothing should be interfering with this bear. So as I'm speaking out and asking questions, I am getting responses. Now, does that mean that this is a child spirit? Absolutely not. You never know during a paranormal investigation if there is spiritual activity. A spirit may come across as a child. To seem innocent, to get your attention, even. But does that mean that this is a child because it's coming across as a child? Absolutely not. And many evil spirits will do this. They will come across as a child. So just because something comes across as a child, please be careful. That may not be a child at all. It may be something that's more dangerous. Even though every test that I tried up to this particular point was showing that it was a child, well, more than one child, possibly two children, spirits. I want to make sure through different tests, multiple tests, I want to know what exactly, if it's paranormal activity, what exactly am I capturing? What is my evidence? And this is my findings. Again, as I'm going through this would be like myself and you, which now you're watching this with me. So now you are going over my evidence. This is what I captured during this particular experiment. And so as you're watching this, kind of watch and see what you notice. You may capture something I didn't capture. And when I'm going back across my evidence, I can put this through a editor software, and I can listen to see if there was maybe any voices or anything that I might have missed. So as you're watching this and going over it, you may actually see something that I've missed. So this is like you being on an investigation with me. We're doing our investigating together. So keep your eyes open, your ears open. Let me know if you see or hear anything that I did not see or hear or capture. File for me. Next to the bear. You may hear water in the back. I have a water fountain that I keep in my home, and I didn't realize at the time that you could hear the water fountain in the background. Can you light the bear again? Can you turn him red again? You're doing an amazing job. Thank you. And on this particular experiment, I wasn't really worried about the water fountain, or I believe at the time my husband was in bed in our back bedroom and had the TV on low, because I wasn't really looking for voices to be captured or anything like that. What I was doing with this particular experiment was to have things the way it would be if we were in bed that night. And the only difference was I had purchased this new piece of equipment, and this does not activate by sound or by touch. It has to activate by EMF. So something would have to come up to it to turn it on and to light it. So I wasn't concerned in this one about noise. I wasn't trying to make sure that I didn't have noise contamination. None of that. That was, this whole experiment was basically to try out this new piece of equipment. And like I said, you can make all the noise you want to. It's not going to affect this piece of equipment. The only thing that will affect this piece of equipment is if something that has an EMF, just like the basic K2 meter, would be close enough that it would set this particular piece of equipment off. So then I was not concerned about any noise in the background. My thing was just to set this bear up to see if it was possibly a child spirit in my home, and to see if it would come up and interact with this particular piece of equipment. And that's why you're going to hear possibly the water fountain in the background. You may even hear the low television in our back bedroom, because I wanted my home to be as normal as it would be for any other night, other than adding this one piece of equipment and then putting a camera up, monitoring this piece of equipment, and then me reaching out to see if anything interacted with me or this piece of equipment during this particular experiment with this piece of ghost hunting equipment, paranormal hunting equipment. Now this little bear works just like the EMF meter. So energy has to be close to it for it to light up. The green light in the belly means the power's on. Red in the chest area means that there's energy. And in the paw areas means stronger energy. This is the new device that we just got. And Tommy has been trying it out and doing a very good job with it. Tommy is the child spirit in my home. Yes, good job, Tommy. Thank you. That's amazing. Thank you. Good job. Can you make his paws light up? Can you really get a hold of him? Light him up. Now, what I'm looking for when I'm doing any type of investigation is I'm asking, is this Tommy? And he did light this up. I'm praising him and letting him know that he did a very good job. That's my way of letting the spirit know that I am seeing that they're interacting with me or with my equipment. Now, what I'm looking for now is I ask if they could really get a hold of this bear, because if there was more energy, then the paws, upper paws, will also light up. So now I'm looking to see if this piece of equipment is actually working correctly, and which I had already tried it out and made sure that it was. But now I want to see if these paws light up. Is there a spirit there? And is it really trying to do what I have asked? And I've asked politely, can you really get a hold of it and make its little paws light up? So that's what I'm going to be looking for. So I asked for something, and then I want to see if there is any response that is directly associated with what I ask for. They're using multiple devices, the digital camcorder, the digital recorder, the SLS, the light up balls, and now the Boo Buddy Jr. bear. It's validating over and over that there is a spirit here, and it's Tommy. He's a child. He's 5. just got this new device, and Tommy is now learning how to use it and doing a very good job. Again, with paranormal, we need to investigate it. Try multiple devices. Try the accuracy of the devices. So this one's also validating all of the other devices. Thank you so much, Tommy. That was really great. You did a good job. Really good job. Can you do this? Can you light this up for me? No, you just seen me walk over and touch the cat ball. And if you notice, I have it in the pack. So it's not like it can be bumped or rolled. To me, this is more secure. And in order for something to actually come over and light this, they're going to have to touch it. And it's going to make it harder to accidentally go off. Now, does that mean that every time this cat ball goes off, that there's a spirit coming up and lighting it up? Absolutely not. But I did, if you notice, it's still in the package. You can see how it will be laid in the package like that. And you see me walk over and touch it. And now I'm asking if there is a spirit of a child in this room, in my home. Can they come up and touch the ball? Or do you want to do the bear? You want to do the bear, just light up the bear. I think Tommy really likes the new bear. Again, if you're listening and you're hearing voices or anything in the background, this particular experiment was not to capture any voices. This particular experiment was to try out a new piece of equipment. I'm sorry, my lips are so dry. This weather has been really bad here. We've had a couple snowstorms. So I'm going to continue this, and I'm going to get me a cup of coffee. So I'll just leave this play. But as you're listening, you just, you're not listening for any voices in the background or sounds in the background. You're going to hear a water fountain. You're going to hear possibly a TV in the back bedroom, because I knew this piece of equipment did not react to any sound. And I wanted this experiment to be done in an environment as natural as it would be every other night in my home. So I didn't want to make any sudden or subtle changes. So the only thing that I did was to add this piece of equipment and this small cat ball in front of it. Now, do I believe that cat balls are accurate? Absolutely not. Did I put it there to see if this was a child spirit? Would a child be more interested in a toy type device if I'm doing a investigation and there's possibly children's spirits in the place that I'm investigating? So that's basically what I'm doing here, to see, what's the interaction with this. I'm going to continue to turn the video on. And again, kind of watch and see. You may see any orbs that I'm not catching. But as far as noise, unless it would be stating my name, saying Tammy, which that has happened multiple times on the camcorder audio. It's happened multiple times on the digital recorder and the micro cassette. It would actually say Tammy, and it would say my husband's name as well. So now if you would hear my name, then that would be something to note. But I was not really paying that much attention to the sounds in the background. I'm just doing an experiment on this piece of equipment and trying to keep things as natural as they would be, so that I can gather all the information that I can gather, all the evidence I can gather. And then once I did gather everything, then I did reach out to a paranormal team that is well known. And I did ask them to come in and to do their own investigation in my home. And when they did their investigation using their own equipment and some of my equipment as well, they did validate that what I was recording, what I was witnessing, they validated every single thing down to and including the two names of children, Tommy and Lily. So even though I do go in and do paranormal investigations, I don't want to step out beyond my scope. So what I was trying to do was, number one, prove to myself that my home did not have any paranormal activity in it. I was trying to debunk it. But with all of my investigations and experiments and with testing different equipment, running experiments and tests with them, recording it, and then putting all of this together, then I wanted somebody else to come in and to do their own investigation and then see what they got, what was their evidence, what was their findings. So between me doing my own investigation and then them coming in and doing their investigation, it validated my methods, number one, of what equipment do I use, how do I do my investigating, what equipment am I using, how am I validating all of my evidence, and then what can I do with this evidence once I have all of it. So I'm going to let this play. I'm going to get me some more coffee, and I'll be back in just a minute. Do you like that new bear, Tommy? Oh, I'm glad you like it. Okay, let me pause this. I need to get the puppy. I still call my dog a puppy, even though he's 7. He's still a puppy. I'm really glad you like that bear, Tommy. Again, I'm just trying to catch this when it happens. The bear was on and it started lighting up, so I'm catching it in real time when it's happening. Tommy, are you 5? If you're 5, can you light up the bear? As you can see, not only do I want to try to validate, is this a child? Is your name Tommy? So each time I'm asking a question and hoping to see if there's any reaction to the bear. And multiple times when I said Tommy, he would light up the bear. Now, according to what I captured on my audio, on my camcorder, and on the digital recorder, tape recorder, and the micro recorder, I was getting the name Tommy and Lily. So when I ask, of course, you don't know what you're hearing when you're asking questions. And you have your digital recorder there. I would ask, is your name Tommy? And wait for a response. And then I ask, how old are you? And when I ask, what is your name? A small voice came through on the recording and said, Tommy. And when I said, how old are you? He said, 5. I said, is there anyone else here? Of course, I did get a response, yes. And I asked, of course, I'm not knowing what my responses are. I know what I'm asking. And I said, if there's anyone else here, what is your name? And then the name Lily. Of course, all of this I'm hearing afterwards. And then I ask, how old is the other child, if there is another child? And a little voice came through and said she is 3. So until I actually listened back to that audio recording, I was not aware if I was even catching anything. So you're going to hear me speaking to a child, Tommy. Again, I'm wanting to find out, are you really a child? Or are you something that is pretending to be a child? So that's basically why you'll hear me, because I had done several months and months of different investigations using different pieces of equipment up to this point. And what I'm doing now is I've purchased new equipment and I'm adding another new piece of equipment, which was this new Boo Buddy Bear Jr. EMF bear. And we had already tested it to see if it was working correctly alongside of the regular K2 meter. And it was. So when I went to use this experiment, I knew that this EMF bear does work just like an EMF meter. So that's basically what I'm doing with this experiment here. The spirit box one that said it was Tommy, and he was 5. So maybe we can learn to talk to Tommy through the bear. Now, just because I'm stating on here the spirit box said it's Tommy and Tommy is 5, I would not have depended on that spirit box by itself because of radio interference, AM, FM radio. But because I caught it on a digital recorder as well as the spirit box, I'm referencing all the different pieces of equipment that I have used, and the same thing has been validated on every one. Now, was it a fluke thing that the spirit box just happened to say Tommy in the same age as the digital recorder when I did the recording? Could that have been just a fluke? Absolutely. But through multiple investigations over multiple months, using different pieces of equipment, using camcorders, digital recorders, trail cameras. Over and over, I kept getting the same names, the same ages on different occasions. Now, not every single investigation that I did or experiment that I did, but on the majority, it was always the same. With interaction. I think it's a little harder for him to light up the bear than it is to do the balls. Because the balls he was doing very fast. The bears, I think, the bear takes more energy. I'll try and make this about 20 minutes long. Or 30 minutes long. I just wanted to capture this when it's happening. I'm very impressed. I'm impressed with the new device and Tommy's ability to use the device. It's absolutely amazing. want to turn my app on and see if Tommy. Now, see here, not only did I go through that far into this video, which is using this piece of equipment. Now, we did talk about using the phone apps, the ghost hunting apps. Are they accurate? Will they give you the same information that you're picking up on a digital camcorder, on a digital tape recorder, on a micro cassette recorder? So I'm wanting to know, is all of this the same? So now I'm going to turn on a phone app and just do an experiment. Wants to talk as well as light up the beard to validate that this is Tommy. My app set up. Again, I'm using the Spiritus app. Okay, now the reason that I'm going to and trying all these different pieces of equipment and apps is that way I can give my informed opinion of what do I think this is. Is it just voices, or is it something more? Are the phone apps and the Spirit Box, the SP7 Spirit Box, can I validate them? Because I already have my evidence up to this point, and I know what I've captured over 6 months to 8 months period of time using the camcorder, the digital recorder, the micro cassette recorder. So now I'm trying out these new phone apps and different phone apps and the SP7 to see if they can validate the same things that I found. So that's how I do my research. In order for me to do research, I try out different pieces of equipment, different things to see whether or not that they're valid. Hi. Right. If you've got headphones in or earplugs in, please take them out. Very loud. Light. Is this Tommy? You what? Wait. And again, I use the Spiritus app. That's just the one I prefer. Yeah. Hi, is this Tommy lighting the beer? Yeah. Good morning. Good morning. Now, to me, this is very hard to understand, but I'm trying to find out, do these apps, by chance, if you're on an investigation and you're bored, will they actually throw out information that may validate something to do with the particular place that you are investigating? Could it be coincidence? Absolutely. So in order for me to be able to give an informed decision on all the different phone apps, I tried multiple different phone apps as well as the Spirit Box. Go. Delete. Who's lighting the bear? Tommy? Oh. Do you like the new bear, Tommy? Right. Can you light it up again for me? Do it. Can you say bear? Can you say bear?
on. You. Train. To the train.
William's in the office.
Right.
Now that I found kind of strange because of the name that came across there. You know, is it something that because this is added to your phone app and maybe it bleeds into your contacts on your phone? I'm not really sure. Is it just a fluke thing that it said William, which, that could there have just been a coincidence? Absolutely. So not only am I trying out the bear here, I also put the little cat ball there, and now I'm adding to it a phone app. So I'm almost now at this point doing 3 different pieces of equipment to see what I think of them, and that way I can decide whether or not I feel that this is something that I would recommend to use if you're going out to do paranormal investigating, or if it would be just something, if I was bored, would turn it on, walk around with it, see if something by chance would come through. As far as the phone apps, I'm not impressed with the phone apps. I feel that they are just, in my opinion, they were created for entertainment purposes only. Tommy, can you light Tommy, can you light the beer again?
What? Well, I. Wait. Release. All right, perfect. 3, 1. Tony. 4. Good.
Now, for some reason, this particular phone app did say William, which is a name that would be relevant to me. And it's also saying Tommy. And if I'm not mistaken, this one will say Tammy. And you can tell the difference between the Tommy and the Tammy. But does that mean that this phone app is something that I would call as legitimate, factual evidence? No, absolutely not. Tommy, can you light the bear up again, or the ball by the bear? Can you do that, please?
Right, all right. Go. Oh. I mean, not. Oh. 1. Call the edge. 100.
Now that I found a little strange because I said, can you light up the ball? And then it said ball. Can these apps be picking up through some type of AI things that we're saying and then we're getting responses? I'm not really sure. And I haven't really experimented enough with the phone apps, the paranormal ghost hunting apps, to give a complete what is my what is my understanding of them? How do they actually work? I would have to go more in depth into researching the phone app and what all goes into creating a phone app.
Tommy.
Tommy, can you light the bear again?
Tommy. Look. Hello, Miss. No. Hold the edge.
Oops, hold on just a minute.
Uh,
Oh, I thought you were coming through. I'm recording.
Boy. No.
Well, thank you, Tommy. Thank you for lighting the ball up. Okay, so that'll basically take you through some of the experiments that I've done, how I do my research. And again, that was this little bear here. And this is the little Boo Buddy Jr. And like I said, in order for me to understand the equipment, do I like it? How does it work? You know, is it going to be what I want to use it for? Is it going to be a good piece of equipment? Now, this little bear was right around $99, if I'm not mistaken. So all of this to me is, if you purchase something, you want to have the time to check it out, see if your equipment is a good piece of equipment. Is it going to be faulty? Can it give you false readings? And I try multiple tests, not only using like this particular piece of equipment, but then I would also put it with a piece of equipment that I know this is your standard K2 meter. And basically this little EMF bear works the same as your basic K2 EMF reader. So this is putting two pieces of equipment together that would be doing the same exact thing. So that way I know whether or not this particular piece of equipment is working accurate, because I know that this one is. So that gives me something that I can compare my new piece of equipment with. I can set them side by side. I can do an experiment. And if this one is going off and this one is not, then most likely this piece of equipment is not going to be a good piece of equipment, a piece of equipment that I'd want to use. However, every single experiment that I tried with these two pieces of equipment, they were both activating at the same time. They were both very accurate pieces of equipment. So would I recommend this particular one? Absolutely. It's a little expensive. This one does not have any voice or sound. This is just your basic Boo Buddy Jr. ghost hunting bear. And it's around, when I ordered this one, it was around $99, something like that. So it's a little expensive, but I like it because it does have the red in the chest and on both paws. And if I want to see that and I'm doing an investigation at night, I don't have to use the night vision camera on this. I can just set up a regular light, my regular camcorder, and then I'm going to capture any of the red activity in the chest area or in the arm areas. Now, this one, of course, the bottom paws, feet don't work and they don't light up, just the upper. So if I wanted to use this even on a night investigation, I could use this either with a night vision camera, but as you've seen at the beginning, you can't really pick up, what is exactly happening. So I would just use a light on a tripod, enough to give me enough light in the room that I could actually use my regular camcorder without the night vision. And then it's going to capture, or I wouldn't even need that. If I was just going for the red, I could just use the red or the standard camcorder. And I would be able to detect any red in the chest area or in the paw areas. So that's how I would use this one. I really like it. It's small, it's compact. And if you're like me, when you're going out, you've got already a lot of equipment. So with this one being very small, I can just put this in with my equipment. It does great for travel. It works on the 9-volt battery. And I've noticed that in a lot of the places I've went to investigate, for some reason, anything that seems to light up, say your K2 meter, or anything that has like your movement lights, if there is some type of activity, they, for some reason, they're drawn to things that want to light up. So that's one reason that I did go ahead and invest in this one. And I really like it. I would recommend it. So anyway, I just thought I would let you see one of my experiments with a piece of equipment that I like. Of course, this is real life here. This was our home. And there toward the end, I thought my husband was going to come into the room. And of course, he was going to the bathroom. So we're real life here. We don't cut, edit, all that good stuff. Now, if my daughter is doing my videos, she will sometimes do the editing and add little things here and there. But we don't cut anything. We want it to be as everything you're seeing is real life. This is happening as it's happening. It's not cut. It's not added to. And that way you can see my experiments, how I do my experiments, and how I do my investigating. And then once I get all of my information together, then I can present all of this. These are my findings. These are my facts. So as you learn and grow in the paranormal field and you go out to investigate, try your equipment. Always try mine out. I do multiple tests on every piece of equipment, and I try it out and get familiar with it. And then that way, when I do take it out for an investigation, I know what this piece of equipment should do. I know that I have tested it prior and that it is a good piece of equipment and that it does what it's supposed to do. So anyway, that was a little bit long, a little bit lengthy. So I'm going to go ahead and hop off of here today. So I hope that helped me sharing, how do I do my investigating? What type of equipment do I use? Why do I choose the particular pieces of equipment? So I'm going to go ahead and hop off of here. So until next time, I wish everybody a wonderful rest of your day. Hopefully you're not getting too much snow. We've had a good bit of snow, and we've got another snowstorm coming. So stay home, stay warm, and as always, be kind. Be kind to one another. And I'll see you the next time. And do I like this little piece of equipment? I absolutely do. until next time, bye-bye.